Before you scroll away, before you decide this isn't meant for you, before your thumb moves without thinking, I need you to pause just for a moment. What I'm about to share didn't come to me quickly. It wasn't written in a book I read once. It wasn't taught to me cleanly or gently. It took me 76 years of living, losing, questioning, and sitting with uncomfortable silence to understand. And I promise you this: whether you believe deeply, barely believe at all, or stopped believing a long time ago, this still matters to you. My name is Samuel Carter. I'm 76 years old. And for most of my life, I believed faith was about answers. Clear answers. Certain answers. Answers you could defend. I was raised to think that doubt was dangerous, that uncertainty was weakness, that questions were cracks you had to seal quickly before they spread. I grew up in a house where belief wasn't discussed. It was assumed. Sunday mornings weren't choices. They were routine. Shoes by the door, voices hushed. Expectation thick in the air. Grace before meals wasn't optional. It wasn't a moment of reflection. It was recitation. And questions. Questions were tolerated only if they already knew their place. My parents weren't cruel. They were sincere. They wanted structure for us, stability, a moral framework they believed would protect us from a confusing world. And when you're young, certainty feels comforting. It feels safe. It gives you edges, boundaries. You think, as long as I stay inside these lines, nothing truly bad can happen. But life doesn't respect neat lines. When I was 25, my younger sister died. A sudden illness. The kind that moves faster than understanding. One week, she was laughing at the kitchen table. The next, she was gone. No warning, no preparation, no time to say the right things. She was kind in a way that didn't announce itself. She volunteered without being asked. She noticed people others overlooked. She listened without trying to fix. And then, nothing. I remember standing in a small chapel, wooden pews, dim light, listening to people speak about divine plans and perfect timing. They meant well, I know that now. But something inside me fractured. Not sadness, anger. Because none of it fit the reality I was suddenly living in. If there was a plan, it felt careless. If there was timing, it felt cruel. That was the first time I allowed myself to ask questions, without already knowing the acceptable answer. And once I started, I couldn't stop. I reread scripture, not for reassurance, but for meaning. I read philosophy, history, accounts from people whose beliefs I'd been taught to distrust or dismiss. I expected contradiction, conflict, chaos. But what I kept finding were echoes. Different words, different rituals, different names for the same invisible things. But the same ache, the same longing to understand why we're here, and how we're supposed to treat one another while we are. Years later, I worked alongside a woman who practiced Buddhism. We shared lunches most days. At first, our conversation stayed polite. Surface level, weather, work, families. But one afternoon, she spoke about mindfulness, about sitting with pain instead of explaining it away, about compassion without conditions. about letting go of the need to control outcomes. And something unsettled me, because she was describing the same peace I'd spent decades praying for. The language was different. The practices were different. But the destination felt familiar. Now let me be clear. I'm not saying all beliefs are the same. They aren't. Differences matter. They shape cultures, histories, identities. They give people roots. But here's what I've learned, slowly, reluctantly, honestly. Every tradition worth listening to eventually says the same thing. Be kind. Be humble. Help where you can. Admit you don't know everything. And yet, I've seen belief used as a weapon. I've seen families fracture over doctrine. People choosing correctness over connection. I've seen questions treated like betrayal. Curiosity punished instead of nurtured. I've seen cruelty justified with holy language. And every time it felt like a betrayal of whatever truth people claimed to defend. When I was 53, my life didn't explode. It quietly unraveled. Work stress crept in. Money felt tighter than it should have. I started drinking more than I admitted, to myself or anyone else. I was functioning, but hollow. One night, alone in my kitchen, the house silent in that way only late nights are, I did something I hadn't done in years. I spoke out loud, no memorized prayers, no polished phrases, just honesty. I don't know what I believe anymore, but I know I can't do this alone. Nothing dramatic happened, no signs, no voices, no sudden clarity. But the next week, a coworker, someone I barely knew, invited me to a support group, a room full of people who weren't pretending to have answers. Just people trying to live with a little more honesty than yesterday. Was that coincidence, grace, human connection? I stopped trying to label it because what mattered was this. Help showed up when I admitted uncertainty. As I've grown older, my beliefs have become quieter, less rigid, more spacious, and I don't claim to know what happens after we die. I don't know which prayers are correct or which rituals matter most. And strangely enough, that no longer frightens me, because awe replaced certainty. Humility replaced fear. I look at younger generations today, walking away from organized belief, and I understand why. They've seen hypocrisy. They've been judged instead of guided, shamed instead of supported. And I want to say this clearly. Walking away from harmful certainty does not mean abandoning meaning. Don't stop searching. Just because someone convinced you they already had the final answer. Curiosity is not rebellion. Doubt is not failure. It's honesty. I still attend services occasionally, not out of obligation, but because shared silence, shared reflection, still feeds something human in me. I also read widely, talk openly, listen more than I speak, because every person I meet carries a fragment of truth I don't have. 3 years ago, my wife passed away. We were married 54 years. Near the end of when words came slowly, she asked me quietly, "Do you think this all meant something?" And I told her the only honest thing I could. I don't know, but I believe love never wastes itself. That was enough for both of us. So here's the clearest lesson I can offer you. What matters most is not what you believe, but who you become because of it. If your beliefs make you kinder, more patient, more open, they're serving you well. If they make you fearful, cruel, or closed, then something deserves to be questioned. I'm 76 now, still learning, still unsure, still curious. And that feels right. So wherever you are on your path, believing, doubting, searching, don't let anyone shame you for asking big questions. Stay curious, stay gentle, help where you can, and never stop wondering. Because that wonder, that quiet hunger for meaning, is one of the most human things you will ever feel.